Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this mixed bag of wrestling. This mixed bag of wrestling is, I really was trying to decide what I really wanted to do. And I'm one of the first to admit that I really missed a lot of wrestling between the 90s into the 2000s. I won't lie about that. But one thing I can say, I have seen some of the best bits of wrestling throughout the years. And one of the best things I saw was two individuals. Actually, I take that back. Three individuals. Now that they've been inducted into the Hall of Fame, I feel that, honestly, I don't think I even come close to really giving them the respect they deserve. But I'm going to give it one hell of a try. The ones I'm talking about are the trio of the Road Warriors and Fabulous Paul Ellery. Legion of Doom with Precious Paul. I can say I had seen the Legion of Doom when I was younger in the 80s. I saw them in the AWA and in Georgia Championship Wrestling. Then I saw a little bit of WWF and WCW. I never did see them in New Japan. I wish I had, but I didn't. I've only seen clips of them right now on YouTube. They have a few of them on there. But I could tell you what I remember of the Road Warriors and when they became the Legion of Doom. They were the most baddest ass tag team that existed. It's not the point they had the most titles. That kind of distinction goes with two different teams. One particularly, I might just do a debate of the week on them. But you can say with the Legion of Doom, with Animal Hawk, with Precious Paul Ellery, I said fabulous because he was fabulous to them. I'm not just talking about the work he did on the mic for them. I'm talking about what he did for them behind the scenes. That's why I call him Fabulous Paul Ellery. Sorry. Look, no matter if you agree with this or not, they revolutionized what we know as pro wrestling today. Their very physical type of matches they had through the NWA, the AW. I think they were in NWA. They were. I know they were in AWA. They were in Georgia Championship Wrestling. They really made their mark in Georgia. That's what I understand and what I remember seeing. And the WWF, they ran with them until they left. And then they went to WCW. And I really thought they should have stayed with the WWF. But the problem was, there was a lot of problems. And one of the problems was Hawk himself. I'm not bashing the man. I understand what alcoholism can do to you. I grew up in a house with it. I'm lucky myself that I never actually had that problem living in a house where it was not pretty. But I can understand how hard it is. Those demons screw with you. I can say by the time before his death, when he really straightened his life out and he came back to the WWF and WWE, he really worked very well. He did. And incorporating what he went through, that was a big risk at that time, because taking aspects of real life and adding it into a storyline isn't always able to work. And really, people really thought he had gone right back off the wagon again, and he wasn't. I thought that was a very nice touch. It's sad that he died in 2006. That, from what I understand, when I saw the video of Hawk and Animal, the Road Warriors, and when you hear Animal say pretty much he spoke to his wife that night, I'm talking about Hawk. He moved a lot of furniture and stuff for his wife. He just he wanted to get things in order just for her because he loved her so much. And he just knew that was his end. And he ended his life doing something that he felt was right for himself and his family. And Animal really loved the man. Even if he pissed the crap out of him, he loved him. I can really say out of several of the different men and women who've done pro wrestling, not all of them get along, and even when they're relatives. You know what I can say? In this case, those two were like brothers, and they really loved each other. And Precious Paul really took care of them. If you never knew about Precious Paul, and I'm sure people who are watching this are going to say, dude, you don't even know half of it. And I probably don't. But I can say what I have learned from Precious Paul. He had a great career as a wrestler, and when he became their manager, he took care of them. They were like three brothers. And most of the time, I think he acted like their dad. Because he made sure not only they got to where they need to go in their arenas, they stayed as pretty much as straight as possible, not saying they didn't drink their asses off. He made sure financially he took care of them, for them and their family. And as you know, Animal's son, he's in football right now, doing really damn well, which is really great. And another one, I believe he's in the Air Force, I'm not sure. In the military, possibly. But you know what? If it wasn't for Precious Paul when they were young and really didn't understand the business that well, they probably wouldn't have a half of what they have right now. Well, at least what wasn't spent. But really, I can say clearly that these two are more than arguably the best team that existed. It wasn't the fact they had the most belts throughout their career. It wasn't. I mean, they got maybe in Georgia they got about 4 belts. In WWE they got about 2 to 4 belts. In New Japan they got maybe 1 belt. But it's not the point of how many belts they got. It's what impact they did on the business. They changed the business from being not as rough as you would think it could become. And before ECW, there was the Road Warriors. They were the ones who showed what true violence is in the ring. And there were some people that said simply, you know what? When we go into there, we're going to show them exactly what we can do. They went up against one of the best tag teams that had been around for 20 years back in the 80s. I can't remember the names of them. But they kicked their asses and they expected that they were going to win. And they said, fuck you. We're not here just to play and pander to you. We respect the business, but we're going to kick your asses. You want to play around and think that you're going to have it easy? We're going to bash your ass, which they did. And those two who were known for many years, I can't remember them offhand. But you know what? They kicked their butts. Physically kicked their butts. They showed they were the future, and they were. Look at the tag teams we have today. As much as the tag team divisions from no matter what promotion you go to. It could be AAA, it could be King of the King, it could be TNA and WWE and WCW. Those, and ECW, particularly ECW and how their style was. A lot of it really reflected what Legion of Doom did. So I can say that one of the top 5, for me, best tag teams known must be Legion of Doom. Animal and Hawk. And you could say that things could have been a lot better without the type of problems they had with this substance abuse. That's how most things happen. But I'm not taking that away from Hawk. And if you do, why? People make mistakes and then they can come back from it, which he did. He did some of his best work when he did. But I do have to say that when it came to Animal, I think he could have been treated a little bit better from the WWE. Really. Something's telling me that he could have had a better career in the WWE than he was before. I know he teamed up with Heidenreich at one point in 2005 and 2006, just before Animal died. But I really believe he could have had something better. He could have done something better, and I really believe the WWE really didn't do enough with him. He could have been a WWE champion. So I'm not saying that he hadn't gotten a title, but I think he could have had a title. He could have been pushed more. He could have had something as a singles competitor. But I don't believe they pushed him enough. And that's really sad, because Animal is really a nice guy, and the Off the Rope show was going to contest to that because they were there over at the Lufez Danny Hodge Museum. If I'm pronouncing the name wrong, I'm sorry. I still have a tendency to botch. But that museum in Iowa is one of the best ones to go, and I would suggest you go yourself. If I can one day, I'm going to go. I want to see all the great people there. But Animal being inducted there, and how they describe how great Animal was, and seeing the Off the Rope show do it, really gave me appreciation of how these guys work their asses off to entertain us. It isn't that they like to have the spotlight, not just that. They love to entertain. They do. And I really feel that Animal could have been pushed better. So I hope you enjoyed this mixed bag of wrestling. Subscribe and comment to Zane's View. I don't know what I'm going to do for my debate of the week. I'm still working on that one right now. But I hope you enjoy this one. And you have a good day, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.